let's find a comfy seat. And we'll just settle into that seat, settle into something that gives you the space to breathe. And maybe maybe we let the eyes close. We feel the way that our body is receiving breath this evening. So there's this shepherd out in the middle of this field, surrounded by nothingness in every direction, setting up a makeshift tent in the rain. We'll give ourselves just about 30 more seconds here. Maybe one more full inhale, one more full exhale. And when you feel complete, we'll allow the eyes to open if they are closed. Let's take our palms and just make sure they are facing up towards the ceiling or sky. And then draw your shoulders up towards your ears. And we'll exhale and push the shoulders back down and let them kind of reset at neutral in this down position. And then we're going to inhale and go back. We'll squeeze the shoulder blades back and come up to that high point. And then exhale, we'll drop the shoulders back down. So the mechanism of movement is backward here. So you're just inhaling the shoulders up and exhaling the shoulders down, feeling the scapula and the scapular shelf as we're moving through these ranges of motion. Maybe one more time up and one more time down until you feel balanced. And we're just gonna meet back in no rush to get here, but we're just gonna meet back in a neutral shoulder space where we can feel some ease. And then eventually we'll take our arms out as wide as we can get them, palms down, and squeeze the scapula back just slightly. And just feel the tension or strength, the engagement across the shoulder girdle here. And then we'll relax our hands back down to a resting point, palms up. And we're gonna move the shoulders in the opposite direction. So this is gonna be an inhale forward and up, and an exhale forward and down. And we'll just move almost like you're doing half shoulder circles, right? We've taken shoulder circles and just divided them into the half movements. We can be a little bit more attuned and aware, and we can really pair our respiration cycles with our movement cycles. As you're going through these, note if the tempo of movement or the tempo of respiration has shifted dramatically from the back. I find that when we're working this interior shoulder, generally it's a little bit more dysfunctional. And so the movement tends to be kind of like swift and choppy. If that's happening for you, let's see if we can really slow that movement down so that the duration of the movement can be an equivalent to the duration of our breath cycle, or the half of the breath cycle. Maybe one more time in each direction. Eventually, we'll relax back to a neutral space and take our arms out wide once again. Palms down. And just feel that width. Squeeze the scapula back just slightly and then roll the palms up. And we'll relax the hands back down to resting space and transition the hands and knees to tabletop. And so as we find our tabletop, we splay our fingers out and try to feel that stabilization musculature around the proximal humeral head. Really think about energizing down into the hands and feeling those fingerprints like you're trying to push the earth away from you. And then as you exhale out, draw your belly button up towards your spinal column. The spinal column itself stays relatively neutral. And then as you inhale, just maintain the neutrality of the spinal column, but drop the belly button. So you're exhaling out, belly button is drawing up. You're inhaling in, belly button is dropping. And we'll just do that a couple more times, just really feeling this movement in the belly. Maybe even feeling the psoas musculature as it works under that oblique musculature, but feeling how this lower half of our body is responding to this controlled respiration. And when you complete your next cycle, let's just relax our breathing, engage the cervical spine for length, curl our toes, lift our seat, roll our way back in a down dog, and just feel the body in this down dog for a moment. Maybe you pedal this out a bit. Eventually, we'll come back to neutral, drop the tabletop, flip the tops of the feet, and sink our way into child's pose. Just a little check-in with the hips here. Feeling how the hips are responding to this ask of compression. Just note what's going on in the tempo of your respiration. Ask yourself if that tempo is the appropriate tempo for the maximum benefit for you here. We'll give ourselves about 20 more seconds. So the rain is pouring down on the shepherd out in this field as he's setting up this little makeshift tent. And in the distance, like just on the horizon, he sees a person. Seeing a person out in the middle of nowhere where he is something that is very atypical. And seeing someone walking towards him in the rain is pretty unnerving. When it feels appropriate for you, as it feels appropriate for you, let's slide our hands forward. We'll pull ourselves forward to hands and knees tabletop. And then we'll curl our toes, lift our seat, and roll our way back in a down dog once again. When it feels appropriate, let's walk our way to the front of the mat. And we'll inhale into half lift. Exhale back into fold. Drift your awareness to your sacrum and we'll roll ourselves up vertebrae by vertebrae. Nice and slow unwinding here. Eventually finding our way to mountain and bringing our hands together at heart center. And when it feels appropriate for you, let's slide the left foot straight back into lunge. Drive energetically into that back leg and sweep both arms up so you can fully experience crescent. And then just drop the hands to heart center and we'll return to the front of the mat. Oh, where we once again feel a little ease within our breath. When it feels appropriate for you, side 2, right foot slides straight back. We land that right foot. We get our torso nice and vertical. We sweep the arms, fully express this crescent shape. Think about vertical tibia and fibia on the front leg. Think about strong calcaneus energy on that back leg. And then we'll drop the hands to heart center and step to the front of the mat. And we'll just take a nice big breath here. When it feels appropriate for you, that's inhale, we'll sweep our arms up and overhead. And exhale through forward fold. Inhale into half lift. Exhale back into fold. Slide your right foot straight back into lunge. Plant the right hand. You may want to bring this a little bit more towards the center of the mat, but you don't need to. And then we're going to take the left hand up into a nice big twist. Note what wants to go on in the right heel. Generally, it's going to want to follow you into the twist. The right heel is going to want to point to the right. Think about that right heel pointing straight up towards the ceiling. And then let your left hand come down to the mat, and we'll step forward into fold. Inhale into half lift. Exhale back into fold. Second foot, left foot slides straight back. Left hand plants. Again, it can come towards heart center, but it doesn't need to. Right hand's going to take us into the twist. Left heel may want to follow that twist. Think about keeping that left heel pointed straight up towards the ceiling. Same thing with the right knee. It may want to push out to the right. Think about pointing that straight up to the ceiling as well. And then when you feel complete, right hand comes to the mat. We'll step our left foot forward. Inhale into half lift. Exhale back into fold. Plant your hands. We'll walk our way to down dog. Drive the energy into the hips. Down to hands and knees, tabletop. And once again, flip the tops of the feet. Sink your way back into child's pose. You have a little bit more awareness this time around. Maybe you don't, but think about if the respiration rate has changed, if the anterior hip crease pressure has changed, if there's more or less room for this particular shape. Give ourselves just about 45 more seconds here. So as this figure is making its way across the field, it's really moving. They are really moving with intention. And again, this person moving with intention, coming directly at the shepherd in the middle of this field on this pouring rain day it's hard to express how unnerving and different and atypical this is. When it feels appropriate for you, as it feels appropriate for you, let's slide our hands forward. We'll pull ourselves forward to hands and knees, tabletop. Once again, think about that strength in the fingers. Think about pushing the world away from you. Think about being engaged across the posterior of the shoulder girdle. Like there's enough energy there that you know you're active. And then let's just step our left foot in between our hands. And so we get a nice little grounded crescent lunge, or we get a nice little grounded lunge. We're going to turn this into a crescent lunge, but I want you to think about the angle of the right femur. So because we are using our legs in a very different way, we can sometimes capture a lot more of this anterior sheath of musculature on the right side. So I'm going to start by just encouraging you to push forward to your full range of motion here. So just shifting your body weight forward, the right knee, the top of the kneecap there, staying connected to the mat, assuming that feels acceptable to your knee. If it doesn't, you could bring the right toes into the mat and give yourself a little lift. But trying to find this forward movement until we feel the right anterior sheath of musculature activate. And then we're going to shift back towards a more neutral vertical tibia and fibia on the left side, and then sweep ourselves up into this grounded crescent. When you get into the top of this shape, think about that opportunity to go forward. A, if it's accessible for your knees, both of them, and B, if it feels like you're getting more engagement across that front sheath of musculature on the right quad. And then we'll drop our hands to the mat, curl our right toes underneath us, and activate that right leg so we get a little lift here. And then we're going to sweep ourselves up into a traditional crescent. You may notice some more fatigue in the legs, fatigue in the hips, but think about trying to find extra space, particularly in the mechanism of torso forward here. We'll drop the hands to the mat. Step our left foot back into down dog. And let your body move here. And let's come down to hands and knees tabletop. Once again, energize into the hands. Think about that posterior sheath of musculature across the shoulder girdle being active. Think about being strong there. And then we'll slide our right foot forward in between our hands. And same thing, we get this little setup first, and then we're gonna see what it feels like to shift our weight forward. We have the hands here allowing us to take a little bit of the burden off of the knee and hip. Knees and hip. Both knees really do come towards end capacity in this shape. And we're just thinking about this anterior sheath of musculature on the left quad, trying to find our way into some expansive space. And then eventually, when it feels appropriate for you, we'll shift our weight back towards a more vertical tibia and fibia on the right side and sweep ourselves up into this grounded lunge, lifting and elevating the arms. Then think about if it is acceptable or possible or beneficial, better word, to take your torso forward here and to bring some more space into that left hip. When it feels balanced left to right, we'll let the hands come down to the mat. We'll curl our left toes underneath us and we'll sweep our way up into crescent, side two. Think about getting the torso forward without losing the verticality, without losing the anterior, posterior neutrality. And then when you feel balanced, we'll drop the hands to the mat. Step the right foot back into down dog. And energize here into the tailbone for the depth of your down dog. Let's come down to hands and knees tabletop. One more time, we'll flip the tops of the feet and sink our way back into child's pose. Checking in once again with our respiration rate, with our anterior hip crease, and with the depth possible within this shape. As this figure gets closer, it becomes apparent that they have a bag on the side of their body. And as this figure gets to the tent, it reaches into the bag and it quickly pulls out an envelope, hands it to the shepherd. And then this courier just turns around and walks away. The shepherd is pretty thrown Not sure what's going on, but figures it's probably going to be some type of a land dispute. Last 15 seconds here. And when it feels appropriate for you, we'll let the hands slide forward. We'll pull ourselves forward to hands and knees, tabletop. Splay the fingers out wide. Push down into the mat like you're trying to press it away from you. Don't push down so much that you start rounding your back, but activate into the mat in a way where you feel strength across the posterior chain. Let's curl our toes, lift our seat, and find our way into down dog. Take our right foot and extend it straight back and behind us. And then we'll step our right foot forward into lunge. And ground your left heel. Bring your right hand to the medial edge, big toe edge of the right foot, and let's just open up into a nice little side angle. Think about keeping the tibia and fibia on the right leg as vertical as is accessible for you. Nice, big, wide shoulder girdle, shoulder stack. And then we'll let the left hand come down to the mat, let the left heel spin up, and bring the shoulders square to the mat. Think about sliding back into your right hamstring as much as is available to you here. That may not mean that the right leg gets straight. There may be a significant bend. There may be a vertical tibia and fibia here. But we're just energizing into the posterior chain of the right leg. And then rebend your right knee, step your right foot back into down dog. And send your left leg straight back and behind you. And we'll step our left foot forward into lunge. Ground our right heel, bring the left hand to the medial edge, big toe edge of the left foot, and open up into side angle. Think about a nice vertical tibia and fibia on the left leg. Think about stacking the shoulders and feeling the width across your shoulder girdle. Eventually, there'll come a time when you feel balanced. We'll bring our right hand down to the mat, spin our right heel up, and slide back into our left hamstring. Just trying to energize the posterior chain on the left leg here. And then there will become a time when you feel balanced left to right. We'll bend the left knee, step the left foot back into down dog. And then walk our way to the front of the mat. Inhale into half lift. Get a neutral spine and a neutral crown of the head. And then exhale back into fold. Your choice, roll or sweep your way up into mountain. We'll bring our hands together at heart center. We'll check in with our respiration. We'll think about engaging the glutes enough that we get a stable vertical mountain here. Splay the toes out wide and think about energizing into the toes. And then let's sink our seat back towards chair. Trying to keep our tibia and fibia vertical here. Torso can tilt as much as need be. Trying to keep a neutral lumbar spine. Feeling our body's capacity to breathe. And then we'll rise back into mountain. Sweep the arms up and overhead. And exhale through forward fold. Inhale into half lift. Exhale back into fold. Plant your hands. We'll walk to down dog. Let's shift our weight forward to plank and then lower ourselves down to our belly.
Here, we'll flip the tops of the feet, flex the quads so the kneecaps are lifted, keep the hands right where they are and pressurize them into the mat, like 5%, maybe 5 to 10%. And then really think about where your forehead sits. We want the forehead to be elongated away from the shoulders. And just hold this energy for a few rounds of breath. When it feels appropriate for you, we can relax, slide the hands underneath the forehead for a little crocodile pose. And breathe here for a moment. Just, again, checking in the rate of respiration. We'll give ourselves 30 more seconds. And so this shepherd kind of like irritatedly rips open this envelope and a scroll unfurls from it with all this gold leaflet. And he's pretty confident immediately this is not a property dispute. When it feels appropriate for you, as it feels appropriate for you, let's slide our hands back underneath our shoulders. We'll press ourselves up, 2 hands and knees, tabletop. And from hands and knees, tabletop, we'll curl our toes, lift our seat, and find our way into down dog. Let's send our left leg straight back and behind us. And then we're going to step our left foot forward into lunge. And then heel toe your left foot over to your right hand. And so if you happen to make it in practice or see last week's practice, did a little bit of pigeon. We're going to do a little bit of pigeon or a pigeon-esque shape. So you can stay in this vertical, in this upright lunge. You can stay right here. You could start to lean your left shin over. If you want to go full pigeon, we can lay that left leg down on the mat. We're trying to run the shin as perpendicular to the mat as is accessible to our left hip. And then we're thinking about the positioning of that right knee. I like to have some glute engagement and some quad engagement. Glute engagement to protect the lumbar spine, quad engagement to protect the kneecap. But choose a position here that just allows for the openness of this hip ask to settle in. And we're just going to be here for 30 more seconds. So this is not going to be a long amount of time. But we're going to ask our hips to really feel this. And when it feels appropriate for you, let's bring our hands back in contact with the mat. Enough energy to lift the torso, and we'll step our left foot back into down dog. And now you may have some asymmetry here. Really feel the hips sway. And then when it feels appropriate for you, let's slide our left foot straight back and behind us once again. And we're going to step our left foot forward in between our hands once again. This time we'll ground our right heel. Bring our left hand to the medial edge, big toe edge of the left foot, and open our right hand into side angle. From side angle, your choice. Stay right here, experience the new hip space we have, where you can press back and find a triangle. If the hamstring or if the posterior chain is allowing for that space. But if you're in side angle here and you're just feeling that new hip space, also wonderful. Also likely a little bit more balance challenge than normal coming out of pigeon. And then eventually we'll ground our right hand, spin our right heel up, plant our left hand into the mat, and step the left foot back into down dog. Come down to hands and knees, tabletop. Flip the tops of the feet and sink your way back into child's pose. Little brief rest spot here. Just trying to get symmetry back into the hips. Pigeon to triangle or pigeon to side angle is very atypical and it requires a lot. So try to get yourself back into balance. We'll give ourselves just about 10 more seconds here. And when it feels appropriate for you, let's pull ourselves forward to hands and knees, tabletop. We'll feel the engagement in the hands across the shoulders, curl our toes, lift our seat, find down dog. And send our right foot straight back into down dog. Then step your right foot forward into lunge. We land that right foot and then walk it over to the left hand. Now again, we can stay right here in this upright lunge and we can lean that right knee over towards the right side, or you can lay that right leg down. Whatever feels appropriate for your hip side two this evening. And then once you're there, we think about setting the structure of the shape, and then we work our way towards the depth of the shape. So wherever we will be most positively impacted, set that as your depth. And then we'll just give ourselves about 30 seconds here. Not long holds, but enough to feel the variance that we create in the hip. Last 5 seconds here. And when it feels appropriate for you, we bring our hands back in contact with the mat. If they're not, we give ourselves enough strength to lift the torso. We curl that left toe underneath and we step our right foot back into down dog. And we feel the space in the hips here. Maybe we pedal this out. Maybe we sway the hips a bit. Then we'll send our right foot straight back and behind us and step our right foot forward into lunge. Once again, ground our left heel. Right hand comes to the medial edge, big toe edge of the right foot. We open to side angle. And then if it feels accessible, we just kind of back our way into triangle. Remember that the balance may feel a little bit wonky here. The hips are huge stabilization points of the body. And we've just put that at kind of end range. Think about how you can use your core and glutes to maintain our stability. And then when you feel balance left to right, we'll let the left hand come down, the left heel spin up, step our right foot back into down dog. And one more time, we're going to come down to hands and knees, tabletop, flip the tops of the feet and sink into child's pose. So be again, another quick little rest spot here. Just trying to find balance back and bring balance back into the body. Bring this bilateral neutrality. Think of bilateral neutrality here as you glide back into the depth of the shape. We'll give ourselves 15 more seconds here. When it feels appropriate for you, let's slide our hands forward and pull ourselves forward to hands and knees, tabletop. Press strength into the hands, curl our toes, lift our seat, find our way into down dog. So if you could find a little more room in the hips, a little more room in the posterior chain to drive depth into the shape. Think about the strength across the shoulder girdle in the same way that we have strength across the shoulder girdle in tabletop. We have that in down dog. And then let's walk to the front of the mat. Inhale into half lift. Exhale back into fold. Splay the toes out wide. Drift your awareness to your sacrum. Let's roll or sweep our way into mountain. Bring our hands together, heart center. Squeeze the glutes. Engage the core. Think about vertical stability once again. Splay the toes out wide. Anchor the feet down into the mat actively. And let's sink our seat back towards chair. Again, thinking about vertical tibia and fibia. Torso can be anywhere that allows for vertical tibia and fibia and maintains neutrality in the lumbar. We're finding our body's ability to breathe. We're feeling the depth and the available space in the hips. Let's just hold this for 15 more seconds. And when it feels appropriate for you, let's rise back through mountain. We'll sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale through forward fold. Inhale into half lift. Exhale back into fold. Plant your hands. We'll walk to down dog. Last down dog in practice here. So get anything out that will benefit you. And then eventually we're going to come down to hands and knees tabletop. Sweep the feet out in front of us. Extending the legs in two staff. And as the legs extend, let's just follow them forward into fold. So as this shepherd reads this intricate, ornate, gold foil embossed letter, he's informed that, to a great deal of surprise, that he is the heir to a massive estate. An estate that is across the entire country in a world, essentially a world, a land that he's never visited, a place he's never even heard of. But he can tell by the paper that whoever sent this had a great deal of money, something he has never had. And so he excitedly packs up the tent and walks home through the rain, wanting to get as much information on this place that he's inherited, this huge estate, as possible. We'll give ourselves 60 more seconds here. Nice, long, seated forward fold. Last 10 seconds here. Last big inhale, big full exhale. And then we'll release ourselves back to a vertical spine before lowering our spine to horizontal. Greeting the mat. Relaxing here and feeling what we've done thus far. feeling your body against the mat, feeling the variance in musculature, hot spots along the posterior chain. We'll give ourselves just 30 seconds here just to appreciate the sensations that we've created thus far in practice. And when it feels appropriate for you, let's bring our knees into a bent position if they're not already there. And we'll take our left ankle across our right thigh. And so we have a perfect spot to stick here. This can be the end point of this shape. If we're looking for a little bit more, if we feel like the hips want more, if the spine wants more, if the posterior chain wants more, we can take the hands and interlace them behind the right hamstring. And if this feels accessible to us, if we feel like we have more space, we can take that right foot and extend it towards the ceiling. This is all kind of dependent upon us being able to keep our head connected to the mat, to keep our the posterior of our shoulder blades relaxed against the mat. We're not trying to crank ourselves into a rounded full flexion shape and undo all of the work we've done elongating our body. So if having the leg extended or having the hands behind the leg creates a distorted shape, then just keep the right foot grounded, keep the figure four, and feel the external rotation of the hip, right? Really listen to our body and really respect what you've already done thus far in practice. And we'll give ourselves just about 20 more seconds here. And when it feels appropriate for you, you can release that right leg if you have it elevated. Release the left foot off of the right leg. And just let the knees rock a little side to side. Just a little dynamic sway here. So the shepherd goes home. He starts pulling kind of encyclopedia-like books off the shelves to look up this land. And he finds out that it is literally the furthest possible place it could be within the country. And he goes and he gets a map down and he sees on the map, he can see this huge estate that he's inherited. It's on the map. It's that big. But he also sees the middle of the map covered by this huge red area. When it feels appropriate for you, let's bring our knees back to neutral. And we'll take this to side two. So the right leg's in across the left thigh, right ankle across the left thigh. And this again could be the perfect stopping point, the perfect settling point. If your body feels like there's more, we can take the hands and we can interlace them behind the left thigh. And if the body feels like there's more, you can extend the left leg towards the ceiling. These are big ifs, and we really should ask ourselves all of these questions. Can our head stay connected? Can our shoulders be grounded? Do we have the room to do this and continue to be expansive in our body? And if not, which variation offers the most expansion for us? Because that's the only thing that matters. And so in the middle of this map, this red area, very huge font, very bolded font, like it is a huge warning, Valley of Thorns. And this huge valley takes up at least a third of the map. And it is directly in the path where the shepherd needs to go. And he starts kind of immediately dreading the experience that is in front of him. We'll give ourselves just 15 more seconds here on this second side. And when it feels appropriate for you, we'll release that left foot if it's lifted. We'll release the right foot from the left leg and let the knees go back into their dynamic exploration of rotation. And so this like feeling of sheer dread rushes through the shepherd. And he physically feels it because it had pushed aside this feeling of excitement when he found the estate he inherited on the map. And so he smartly diverts his attention back to this estate that he's inherited on the map. And he feels now kind of a battle within him of excitement and dread. And he knows exactly what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to cross the Valley of Thorns. And so in order to do that, he knows he's going to need to prepare because he has a new life waiting for him on the other side. The next time that the knees come past neutral, let's let them pause there. We'll let the bottoms of the feet come together and the knees fall out wide for one last little engagement with our hips. We'll give ourselves 30 more seconds here. And when it feels appropriate for you, let's bring our knees back to neutral and just ask yourself if there's anything that you might want, might need, could possibly benefit from prior to Shavasana. And if there is, let's offer that to ourselves now. And so the shepherd gets to work early the next morning. He goes out and he finds 4 very sharp stones with harsh edges. He starts cutting rose bushes and raspberry bushes, and he builds a big stack of these thorny limbs. And then he goes home. He puts on his pants. He puts on his shirt. He throws the 4 rocks, 2 in each boot. He slides his feet into the boots, and he feels the sharpness of these stones pressing against his feet. Just looking for your place of ease here, your place of stillness. And when it feels
appropriate for you. Just settling fully and completely into that stillness. Shepherd feels this pain of the rocks searing into his feet. He reaches over and he grabs a handful of rose branches and a handful of raspberry canes. And he starts filling his pants that he's wearing with these thorny branches. And he does the same thing with his shirt. He tucks everything in and he ties the ends of the wrists and the ankles. And he starts to go on daily walks like this so that he can start to experience the sensations of pain he will experience in the Valley of the Thorns. And he does this every day for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And his skin gets torn up. And eventually he stops because he needs his skin to be recovered enough to go on this actual trek. He ends up with severe scar tissue, so much so that he has limited range of motion. But the scar tissue makes his skin thick and he is prepared. And so he sets out on his adventure. Let's bring some movement into our fingers and our toes. And the going is slower than he expects it to be because his motion is limited now. Movement up into our wrists and our ankles. But he plods on. And it's difficult and it's painful because his skin hurts. Moving into our elbows and our knees, into our shoulders and our hips. Eventually he comes up, he starts heading up this hill, and he knows from the map that when he starts heading up, he's getting close. Movement through your whole entire body, head, neck, shoulders, eyes, tongue, feet, toes, hands, arms, legs. And we'll utilize that movement to transition our way into a seat. In our seated space, we can just settle in, let our spine get tall, let the breath get fluid, let the eyes close. And so as he's heading up this hill, he sees this sign. And this sign clearly says Valley of Thorns. And it's like 10 meters away. And so he knows this is going to be a problem. And so he closes his eyes as he's making this approach. He closes his eyes. And he continues to walk. And his feet step down and they sink into this like soft substance below him. And he opens his eyes and he looks down, and it is this bright green field of moss. And his jaw drops open and he looks out over this expanse, and this entire valley is this like soft moss. It's the greenest thing he's ever seen. And he turns his head. He hears a stick snap. He turns his head and there's a woman there. And she says, "You must be worried. And you must be wondering why the name." And she cackles and she says, "The Thorn family has owned this property for ages." With your next inhale, let's bring our hands together at heart center. Over the course of the next 7 days, can you remind yourself that preparing for the future is one thing, but suffering a future that has not yet happened is something else entirely, and see how that impacts your experience. Thank you so much for being a part of this evening's practice and for being you. Namaste. Happy Monday, guys. Appreciate the heck out of you being here. Have a beautiful week. We'll be back on Sunday for a recharge. Take care of yourself. Love you. Talk to you soon.